What's up, everybody? I'm Sydney Goodman, and in today's Daily Fix, developers show off in a new PS5 commercial the reason why Control won't get free upgrades and Lego bricks that can teach a language. Whole thing. The first PS5 commercial was released today. It didn't tell us anything about how to actually buy the console, but it did show off the DualSense controller's features and the different things developers can do with it. A PlayStation blog post further revealed how developers are playing with haptic feedback for the initial lineup of PS5 games. Gavin Moore from SIE Japan Studio discussed how the sensation of metal hitting metal that you'd feel through the PS5 controller lets you know exactly when you land a hit. The creators of Spider-Man Miles Morales are using haptic feedback to recreate Spider-Man's abilities, without the hassle of getting bit by a genetically modified spider. Creative director Brian Horton said the DualSense controller will mimic Miles' Spidey sense, giving players a hint about what direction danger is coming from. And it can also replicate the bioelectricity that's used for a Venom punch. Arcane is doing similar things with Deathloop, making each weapon really feel different and realistic. Game director Dinga Bakaba described how triggers will be blocked if your weapon jams, giving you the immediate feedback you get and want from something like that in real life. And these are just a few examples. Other developers are imitating different textures like plastic or sand, allowing players to feel resistance on a weapon trigger and increase the blast, and other more nuanced versions of rumble. It really feels like the sky's the limit here, so there's no reason you couldn't perfectly mimic the sensation of petting a cat. Maybe even with the purring included, but I can always do that in real life, right bud? Okay. 505 Games released a blog post to explain why Control will not be getting free next-gen upgrades. They announced the Ultimate Edition of Control just last week, which includes the base game, its 2 expansions, and free next-gen upgrades for PS5 and Xbox Series X. They announced the Ultimate Edition of Control just last week, which includes the base game, its 2 expansions, and free next-gen upgrades for PS5 and Xbox Series X. I know I just said it's not getting free upgrades, but stay with me. It turns out the free upgrade is only available for those who purchase the Ultimate Edition, so if you already have Control, no updates for you. In the blog post, 505 explained that additional development is only being done for next-gen platforms. If nothing else, backward compatibility means you can still play Control in the expansions on PS5 or Xbox Series X, but you'll be stuck with the game as it was in 2019, which, given how 2020 is going so far, doesn't sound too bad. New Legos is a phrase that should be exciting to just about everybody, and the latest line of colorful toy bricks is radically different from anything we've seen before. They're called braille bricks, and they're designed for kids with vision impairment. The studs on top of each brick, that's the part that makes you feel like you've been impaled if you step on one, are rearranged on these Legos so they correspond to a specific letter or number in Braille. They're also printed with the matching symbols so sighted kids can build and play along. The Braille Bricks toolkits are launching now in Brazil, Denmark, France, Germany, Norway, the UK, and the USA, with plans to expand into 11 languages across 20 different countries by early next year. They'll be distributed for free to certain schools and institutions that serve children with vision impairment. And that's Daily Fix. I'm Sydney Goodman, and I hope your day is as awesome as you are. Now they're all caught up on the news, check out our review of Battletoads, which, as it turns out, is pretty great. Heads up, I won't be here for a bit because we are gearing up for our Gamescom coverage. So make sure you tune into that, and I'll be back on The Fix when I can. Subscribe to The Daily Fix on Snapchat, and for all things everything else, IGN.com.
Gamescom 2020 is the heart of gaming, and you can keep to the beat right here on IGN. We've turned the single biggest show in gaming into 5. Gamescom Now is your virtual show floor with up-to-the-second live coverage. Gamescom Daily Show, Gamescom's first ever late-night talk show. Our Gamescom Awesome Indie Show, the freshest deep cuts in indie gaming. And finally, the Gamescom Best of Show, including the Gamescom Award. Gamescom 2020 is available on IGN and wherever you stream Gamescom Now.